Providing top quality education for Hawaii's children has long been a challenge in our state, and there has been efforts made. No Child Left Behind, which Hawaii saw some success but many criticized as a one-size-fits-all method that didn't work. And now the DOE has adopted Race to the Top initiatives that include policies addressing new graduation requirements and teacher evaluation standards. Now, is there a better way? Pasi Salberg is an education specialist from Finland and says yes. Dr. Salberg is an internationally renowned scholar and considered by some as a school improvement activist, and the Finnish education system, we understand, is considered number one in the world. So what can we learn from looking at this country's success? And good morning to you, Doctor. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Good morning.
And I know you said you're here also to learn as well as also to suggest what can be done. But let's start with what we know, what you say works. And you say, what would be the key that turned the Finnish education system around? And how quickly can that change be made?
First of all, it's wonderful to be here. This is my first time in your beautiful island here. I think three things come from Finland. One is that we have been developing our system for the last 40 years without changing the course. And you mentioned the No Child Left Behind and Race to the Top, and that's what many countries are doing. That they're having reforms after one another, but we have focused on one same reform. The other one is that within this reform, we have had a very strong focus on those students who really have special needs to learn, poor children and children who come from the families where they cannot support the learning systematically throughout the years. And thirdly, that we require that all the teachers in Finland must have at least master's degree earned in our universities. In other words, make sure that all the teachers are well prepared to work in our schools. So
you're starting from the teachers and working that way?
Yeah, that was one of the initial ideas about 35 years ago already. So today in Finland you cannot teach anywhere unless you have master's degree.
Wow. So what can administrators do today that put us into practice and make these changes that you suggest may work?
I think the interesting thing here in Hawaii is that you have one school board. You have a system almost looking like Finland, looking like a country like us. I think, first of all, it's very important that the administrators think about education as a system, that it's not an individual school or a bunch of individual schools, but it's a kind of a system that should work. And therefore, I think these things that Finland has done, focusing on each and every child, making sure that everybody has opportunity to learn and be successful, and then make sure that all the teachers have everything they need to be successful in their classrooms. And these two things are something that for example, in many parts of the United States, I don't see working very well.
Exactly. Well, it's fascinating what you're suggesting, and I'm sure you've got some other ideas. Now, if you're interested in hearing more about Pasi's theory on education reform, he's going to be speaking at the UH West Oahu tonight. It is free. It's open to the public. It's at the UH West Oahu Campus Center, room C208, and there's a number there on our screen if you want information on tonight's forum. Also, you'll be speaking Monday night at Kamehameha Schools, the Kapalama campus. That's from 10 to 11:30. That's in association with the Hawaii Association of Independent Schools. So thank you so much for coming in, and welcome to Hawaii as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And coming up next,